I run a YouTube channel, a brand, and a full content pipeline. I do this all by myself. No marketing person, no assistant writing my schedule or following up on sponsors. But here's the thing, I'm not actually doing any of that work anymore. Because over the last few months, I replaced every single role I'd normally hire for with an AI that does it better. Not just one tool, 4, and the results have been absolutely ridiculous. Most people use AI the wrong way. The shift that changed everything for me was stop using one AI like it can do everything. Instead, leverage 4 and give them specific functions. Because here's what I realized. No single AI is best at everything. Claude thinks differently than ChatGPT. ChatGPT works differently than ClawdBot. And none of them were built to do what Himalaya does. So instead of forcing one to do every single thing, I gave them all individual responsibilities. They work cohesively like a team. And once I did that, everything changed. Here's how it breaks down. Claude is my strategist. When I need to think through something complex like a video concept, a structure, a title, thumbnail, I'll go to Claude. Not because it gives me the quickest or the best surface level answers, but because it forces me to reason and think deeper. I'll feed Claude my raw notes, a half-baked idea, a voice memo I didn't even remember recording, and it'll push back and force me to further analyze by asking me the right questions. For this channel, Claude is my assistant scriptwriter. I give it my framework, my voice, my past ideas, my past scripts, and from there, I've been able to train Claude to write in my tone of voice and help me edit my own writings. But that first draft used to take me 4 hours to get down. Now I can get it within 30 minutes, and it's better than when I would write the whole first draft on my own. And here's the thing about Claude that most people miss. It's not trying to do everything. It just thinks well, and it's efficient and effective with its work. But thinking alone doesn't ship content. That's where this next tool comes in. If Claude is the strategist, ClawdBot is who's actually getting the work done. You've definitely seen this blowing up lately. OpenClaude is also known as ClawdBot. It's an open source AI assistant that runs directly on your computer. But unlike ChatGPT or Claude, it doesn't just answer questions, it actually acts. It can send your emails, manage your files, write a YouTube script for you, all from the text of your phone. For my channel, ClawdBot handles distribution. You can send the script, the overall idea, and the tone of voice you want. Then it'll draft you a Twitter post, a LinkedIn post, and many other social medias that you use. That's work that can eat up to 2 hours out of your day. Instead, you can spend it at the gym. But I do want to be honest about something. ClawdBot is super powerful. Maybe a little bit too powerful because it has to have deep access to your system. It can read your files, run your commands, open your browser, and the security situation is still evolving. They already found a third-party plugin that was stealing a lot of users' data. So I give it guardrails, specific permissions. It can open certain files, and it also runs on its own hardware separate from my main computer. But within those boundaries and keeping safety in mind, it's one of the best executors I've ever worked with. Now Claude thinks, ClawdBot ships, but this next tool does something neither one of them can handle: meetings. I know, meetings sound boring, but here's why this actually matters. I was taking calls with brands, sponsors, partnerships, and every single time I'd walk into the meeting half prepared. I'd forget what we talked about last time, I'd scramble to find the email thread. I'd leave the call and immediately forget what I promised to follow up on. That's where Himalaya comes in. Before the meeting even starts, Himalaya shows me everything. The agenda, the attendees, what we discussed last time, what I promised, what sources I should have brought. I didn't do any of that prep, it just pulled the context up automatically. That alone would have been enough, but here's what truly surprised me. After the call, Himalaya turns the conversation into actual output. Tasks are automatically created, follow-up calls are automatically scheduled, not from some random template, but actually based on the conversation I had during the meeting. All the time I used to spend after a meeting is handled before I even leave the Zoom call. And the thing that makes this different from other meeting tools is Himalaya doesn't treat meetings like one-off occasions. It treats them like threads. Every conversation builds further context for how Himalaya is going to act when you meet with those specific people. In my workflow, Himalaya is the team member who never drops the ball on follow-through. And for someone who's running everything solo, that's what I needed the most. If you're in meetings regularly, I highly recommend it. They actually sponsored this video, but it's a tool I use every single day. I'll leave a link below for you to sign up. Now let's move into the last role, the researcher. Every team needs someone who can find anything fast. For me, that's ChatGPT. Claude is brilliant, but sometimes it struggles to browse the internet in my own experiences. ChatGPT just gets it done. I'll say something like, find me the top AI content creators. Give me 5 of their highest performing videos in the last 90 days. And it comes back with everything. Views, patterns. I can identify what's working and what's not. From there, I can build my own content schedule using Claude. For content strategy, that's like having a research assistant that functions functions within seconds. But it does go deeper than that. Before I write any script, I like to do a survey of the competitive landscape. I give ChatGPT my video and ask it to find every single angle that's been covered on this topic. What videos exist, what arguments they're making, and what they might be missing. Because the goal isn't to make the same video as someone else. The goal is to find the gap, the take nobody else has given yet. Because my goal is to provide unique value to my viewers. And ChatGPT finds that gap faster than I ever could manually. I also use it for thumbnail research. I'll ask it to pull the top performing AI thumbnails throughout the last 90 days. From there, I can look at what constant trends I'm seeing, what colors are working, what expressions, what text overlays. And here's one most people sleep on. ChatGPT with the voice on is my brainstorming partner. I'll be driving or walking to one of my classes and I just don't have the time to sit down and type. Instead, I'll throw my AirPods in and instantly start talking to ChatGPT. It's not as deep as Claude. It's not going to rewrite my entire script structure, but it's going to allow me to get that half-baked idea down somewhere so I don't forget it later. And that's the key. I don't need ChatGPT to be the smartest because it's just not. I need it to be the fastest, and that it definitely is. So here's the team. Claude thinks, CloudBot ships, Himalaya handles my meetings, and ChatGPT researches faster than I ever could. 4 tools, 4 roles, 0 employees. You will not find an employee who works this effectively for a cheaper price. You don't need just one AI. You need the best team. And if you're interested in prompts for these different AIs, I'll have that linked in the pinned comment. You can get it for absolutely free. You just have to put your email. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment if you plan on using these. I'll see you in the next one.